Thank you, Obi. It is now a closing all-time high there on the S&P and the Nasdaq. Nasdaq, yeah, Nasdaq for sure. S&P, no, I don't think so yet, as I'm just hearing some stuff in my ear right now. And what a good day it's been. Thank you so much for joining me here as traders stay late. It is now 4 o'clock, and we close at those highs. I feel like I'm missing. I don't know if this is the exact right layout, but look at this, man. Every single sector today, green. Is that right? USO up 2% today. XRT up 2%. The TAN, I feel like this is a completely different layout, but this is all good. We're happy to go. FedEx coming through today. We are brought to you by Benzinga. Get Benzinga Pro right now as well. Any news that drops here, especially about FedEx, will be showing up. We also do have what's out to trade ideas, as we will just hit refresh. They're both running. Anything that hits here in the aftermarket will show up right here on our scanner. It is trade ideas scanner. So anything here, got to push play, Sean, and push play. There we go. So as they start to load up here, anything moving in the aftermarket, I should be identified with that. So far so good here in what was, again, another bang up day. Let me just log into my platform here. The Nasdaq hung around all afternoon at 17,000, only to close above that level and get going again here. Putting in my passwords, here we go. Let's look at some of these levels. Where are the triple Qs? Let's just type it in right now. QQQ. This is the break higher. There it is, 409. Let's drop this down to a weekly because you guys are like, nah, whoopsies, that's my layout. We're not at all-time highs, are we? Let's go over to the weekly chart and have a quick look at that. And there it is right there. That's what we're talking about. We're going all the way back to last November before this move all the way back in. That's that top. Then we had those doldrums of last year. It was only a year ago right now when we were all like, oh man, what are we going to do? Santa, coal in our stocking, so on and so forth. This year, man, get those fake diamonds out because it is an all-time high right now for the Nasdaq, as there it is, the drop down into 263. This was just a year ago. So this was 2021, right? We weren't a year ago at all-time highs. A year ago, we were at those bottoms that we were just talking about. This goes all the way back to 2021. So it round trips us all the way back up, reminding me of that gold trade. Look what gold looks like, same ways, right? This goes all the way back to 20. Nice round trip for gold, topping out as well near the highs. What else is going on, man? USO. Look, we talked about it over and over again. Why not pick up some oil? We saw Oxy down there at 55. We saw XOM at 97 XOM. Today closing near 103. Let's find out what's going on in the oil patch there today, as some energy names starting to get bumped up. Look at XOM. XOM again, look at this on the weekly chart. This is a name where you can get that 3 or 4% dividend if we come over to the screen. Thank you. Look at this level right here. Buying that dip. Yes, sir. Should be doing that. I have not. But look at that. Nice little level there for XOM. What about Chevron again? As buybacks are at record highs right now, or at least they were last month, Chevron and XOM definitely helping that out. Look at this move back up, and then look at Oxy. Remember, these are weekly charts that I'm showing you here on the daily. Like, look at some of these levels, man. You're going back years before you're able to find value like this. I don't know. I was talking with Randy about oil, and I'm not sure how much I want to be invested in oil right now. It's definitely not the future, but hey, we can't produce anything right now without manufacturing plants, which are all running on oil. It's not like we're getting anywhere close to all of those being solar or electric or anything. So the EV space is one thing, manufacturing production is another. But the thing about oil is, as we start to get hit in China, you've seen FXI downside. We've seen GDP, although their numbers keep coming out a little bit better than expected, but they're also not guiding forward and they're not releasing key data. If China doesn't like a data point, they're just not releasing it. They've come out and told us that. Let's look at FXI here on a daily. This is, again, another little problem spot for me. This is the ETF, right? China 100 cap ETF. Again, nice levels. Looks like we could be basing out. I feel like if you want to invest in something, this is yet to go. Not many ETFs that I'm going to show you are going to be underneath the 50 period or the 200 period, let alone this far removed. Maybe I should ask Brian about this one. Is FDX out yet? So we'll keep on waiting for FedEx to come through here. We will check it out on Benzinga. So I actually have it on a separate window here. Is FDX out? I do not see it yet. I do not see any crazy movements. We did have a closing price down there at 280. Looks like maybe someone fat fingering this up to 282. If FedEx comes out, we will watch that. And again, a harbinger maybe for future growth. If FDX can come out and guide forward, I feel like that's great for the Christmas season. Do they know something that we don't? Do they have orders in the pipeline for FedEx? Are they seeing more shipping requirements coming through? I like FedEx. Look at the move on the daily. I mean, again, this is why we try to respect 200 period moving averages, right? FedEx comes into 229, now back up to 282. Where are we on an all-time high basis here for FedEx? So you're going to look at this level of 321. There it is. Uh-oh. FedEx coming out. NEPA. Not great report here for FedEx. It looks like it's a nice hit down into 270. Where was that level from our friend Brian Shannon? He tweeted out, what was it, 260? Remember, we got him, well, he offered to do it. There it is right there, 260, 258 or so for an anchored VWAP level for FDX. So there it is, anchored to the October low. We're going to have Brian come on really soon now as FedEx is out right now. Doesn't look like they hit, man. 265. Brian's level was what? 258. So there's the bottom, 262. Let's see where FedEx goes. What are the numbers for FDX? Let me just call it up for Benzinga if I can find it, and I cannot. I have lost. Oops. You won't believe what just happened. I just closed everything for my Chrome. So that's nice. I'll have to get that loaded up. But there's FedEx, nice little downside move. Give me 1 second as, you know, the best part about this is the history tab but now I'm not logged in as myself. Oh my God, this is going to be quite a disaster here temporarily. So just bear with me here as we'll go history. There it is right now, my last 6 tabs as we get Benzinga out. This is what happens when you are doing live here for everybody. So here's Benzinga, let's go. Now I need it to load up. Let's see what those numbers are exactly for FedEx. And I appreciate the patience from everybody. All right, there it is, FDX Q2. 399, there it is. You can see in red. Thanks, Benzinga, for this one. Missing 419. So 399 on the Q2 EPS versus 419. That's a miss. Also sales, 22.2 billion, missing 22.4. Again, I like it. Nice move down. Brian Shannon. Someone just said in the chat, Brian Shannon, right again. That's not necessarily right. He was just giving some levels of interest down there. But yes, it looks like they're going to miss. Let's check out what UPS is doing also. So there we go. Some in sympathy, UPS downside, right? UPS definitely has not been as strong as FedEx on that recent move. So UPS bringing it back in. Watch out for 150. UPS and FedEx, really the two bellwethers there in this space. So we'll watch out for that 149, 150 as a possible bouncing spot for UPS. But right now, only dipping down to 159. There's FedEx on the earnings call. Downside. There it is, 264, and looking like it wants to move just a little bit lower. I'm not seeing really anything else happening here too much as we go, but that's what that is coming through. All right, what was something that was low? UNG. Look, UNG down to 490, man. So much gas supply out there. Not only is gas, the supply is over, it's also when you get an oversupply, regardless of what demand is, you're going to get lower prices. And again, fracking just produces free gas. So like, it's not super expensive to get gas out of the ground, especially when it's a byproduct. Just watch out for UNG, man. It's so warm around here. We just basically got our first sort of snow day. It's not even cold. I mean, looking at it's 0 degrees. So basically melted probably outside. And I don't know what kind of a winter we're going to get, but I'm pretty sure 2023 was the warmest year on record. Go double check that. I think that now that I say that, that might be wrong. But go double check that. I think it's pretty darn close to that. Not that that matters for UNG. I mean, natural gas is used for everything. But again, if we're going to get lower demand on the heating side, yeah, definitely with an outside supply, UNG downside. But still up today, Shaking my head with SMH, but I'm only shaking my head because, wow, look at that. We talked about 200 period. I said you're not going to find a better 200 period gap down, or not even gap down, but move down than this. Nicely done. I actually sold today some NVIDIA. We will talk more about it. Maybe on the podcast we could talk about some longer term positions, but I don't have a problem talking right now. We actually sold some NVIDIA today at this level right now, 494, I think it was, and change. So we did have a nice move up to end the day, up at 496. But again, just think it's getting top heavy. We could miss this run. I mean, if it continues to go, fine. We only had like 50, 60 shares of it. We sold like 10%, something like that, of NVIDIA. So we'll wait to see where this goes. I did buy some SMH. I'm in NVIDIA, and I'm also in Intel for the space. So what else moving around today? The TLT, the 20-year, okay. So the 20-year has been obviously rocking. We did have those Ackman that closed out some of his bond and treasury positions. You've seen a nice move up in TLT. That closing down there looks like that's right on that one. Nice rally back, man. Again, Treasury yields making moves. Nice one there for TLT, up to the upside on that. OIH, IBB, again, I really like some Moderna. Where's Pfizer right now? We like that. Pfizer back up to 20. Yeah, didn't even realize that. We've recently bought some Pfizer down there as well. 26, 27, nice job. I like Moderna. I haven't bought any, but I like Moderna down here in the 70s. I really like the vaccine talk, not the vaccine talk, sorry. The technology behind mRNA and working for COVID vaccines, fine, if that's your thing. I like the technology of mRNA. Possibly they had a story last week about cancer and trying to solve some of those variants. I really think that, hey, every single one of us, I could probably say this, has been touched by somebody in their life, either battling cancer or, heard a story about it. So I really think that that's a technology that we can get behind. mRNA. IYR, man, the real estate ETF. Hello, that one goes boom. XHB. Have you guys ever seen this stock, man? Toll Brothers, highs. Lennar, highs. XHB, see you later. Warren Buffett, man, the rich get richer. I was going to say the wealthier, but yeah, nice move to the upside there. $95 for XHB. Look at this. Huge move up there for this one. Let's check back in on FDX. And are they talking about anything right now? Okay, here it is. So FDX again, still hitting lows. Brian, man, I see this guy waiting in the wings. Wow, that call there. I mean, as if he's not a legend already. Like, look, like this comes back in. This 260 coming into play, the 20-period DMA. We're going to find out why Brian looked at the 20, and then what about Anchor VWAP from that bottom of the October lows. Nailed it. Possible retracement level area. And again, this is from Brian, man, area of interest. You don't necessarily want to buy VWAPs. I have a couple trades today on VWAP. My best was Uber. That was fantastic. We can talk about it. As a day trade, I like to look at it as support and resistance for sure, but I definitely like to see some action around it before you make your bet. So that's the one thing that I learned from him, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Shannon, on deck in a couple minutes. Look at this. I don't know what this exact price is. He's going to have it for me probably, but I'm going to say it's like 257, 258. So now let's have a quick look at this one. 260 we've dropped down into. FedEx pulling back in. And again, look, it's going to match it with the 50-period moving average as well, 255. Then you have the 200 down here at 244. I like it. It's FedEx. It's on a miss. But what does Benzinga have to say about this? So I just saw them right here. All right, so there's adjusted outlook. So they're seeing forward 24 between 17 to 1850. But look at that. That's on the low end. And maybe can I zoom this in a little bit? Okay, there it is. So there it is right here, right? So here's FedEx. Oh, I don't want to miss it. There it is right there. See this? 17 to 1850. And now I got to, see, I zoomed a little bit too much. So, oh no, where is it? Right there. There it is here. Versus, oh no, that's the miss. Where is it? Sorry guys, right here. 17 to 1850 versus 1825. So see, what's up with that bottom mark there? Like if you're going to give that far of a range, like that's a big miss, man. 17 to 1850, right? As opposed to 1825. I feel like that variance probably hitting the name to the downside. So let's watch out for that. Virgin Galactic launches into the new year with January commercial flight for Virgin Galactic. Let's see if that's moving that name around again. SPCE. I didn't think they were, yeah, not doing anything. So probably as reported. That almost got down to $1. That dollar bump, man. Virgin Galactic a double up. I think that's a short, but nice little double up there from that bottom. Wasn't that funny about Smile Direct on the midday show there? I was talking about my daughter getting her braces off, and then I was like, I should have just traded Smile Direct. SDC is now gone. It's 000 cents. It's like on the pink sheets. A very negative name there for Smile Direct. So again, could have paid for her orthodontics by just shorting that name. Okay, that's about it, man. I feel like it's been a pretty good day here. We've gone over some of the sectors. Again, I don't have anything in the red. I'm going to have to find out. I feel like I'm missing this. Let me know if there are any red sectors out there because there has to be a few. And you know what? Look, before we have Brian come on, look at this trade because I'm going to call him Brian in a second. This trade on Uber, This was a great trade off view upload. Oh no, I'm gonna have to edit this live with you guys on here. Sometimes when we do jump back and forth from stations here, we do have to edit some of these wicks. Look at this. Here's view up. So again, Uber with a nice move up. I've just been looking short on Uber today and for a while because I actually sold some Uber. This bounce up, definitely due to the S&P 500 inclusion. Now that's over with. I feel like we could sell off a little bit for Uber. You're also double topping up here at 65. It goes back, but we waited. Look at this test. So this is, again, this is what we're talking about. And I have, you know, again, the VWAP man is coming, so I shouldn't even be talking about VWAP. But look at this test there on VWAP, right? Bounce back up. You get another test right there, VWAP bounce back up. But we failed to break and make new highs on those VWAP tests. So then next time when it broke, I just said to myself, sometimes you talk to yourself as a trader, you know, why not short this against these highs? So we did that, and the rest, as they say, is history. Let's bring him in. It's my friend, Brian Shannon. Hey, Brian, thank you so much for joining me one more time here today. And man, you're just upping the game. That FedEx call, thank you so much for tweeting that out, because after we had talked, we was like, what are we going to talk about? How about FedEx earnings? What a great look on that one. And how's your day going?
My day's good. I mean, everything's working, Sean. It's hard to lose money.
Sometimes we look much smarter than we are, I feel like, Brian. That may not be the case for you because I know you're quite a smart individual, but I feel like the bull run's been here, and I've been talking about this, sold some names in my own account today. Just feel like we're getting a little frothy. I don't know, heading into the new year. I know I'm fighting the Santa Claus rally. Is Santa Claus rally something that you're always looking at?
Seasonally, yeah, this is just one of my favorite times of year to trade. Last year, I think, was the exception to the rule, but it's generally a very strong period for, you know, in particular, a lot of the little stocks really start popping off big time. And my theory on that is that you've got big hedge funds that are just kind of running things, trying to get them to close a lot higher so they get a giant year-end bonus.
Yeah, hey. I can definitely feel that one, man. You know that 77% of the time, the last week, which is this week, it starts December 22nd, that's the Santa Claus rally. 77% of the time, it results in an up move for the market with an average move of 2.7%. Can you believe that? That's in 1 week? That's absolutely amazing. All right, so on that note, Brian, I have your book somewhere. By the way, I was showing it on the show Into the Close. Fantastic book. I'm going to go find it. Obi, could you bring that book over here when you get a chance? All right, let's talk about the anchored VWAP. I see that you have it up on FedEx. For anyone joining us right now, let's discuss where you anchored it and why.
Okay, FedEx, it's pretty easy. So, you know, one of the most important places to anchor is from significant highs and lows. So we have, of course, the October low, and that is the biggest, you know, that's what set this whole rally off, or where it came from. So when we see it sell off strong, first I look at a 20-day moving average. I'd also pointed out this prior band of resistance coming into there. So that was definitely a potential level of support. And one of the comments on X was, it has strong support at 270. And I said, well, wait a minute, slow down. Let's see what happens at 270. Right. Support is only known after the fact, and we have these levels of interest. So with the 20-day moving average and that prior resistance, it certainly was a level of interest. We could also take a look at, maybe, I haven't done this yet, but even a Fibonacci off of here, and you can see, well, that 263 was 38.2, so there's really not much significant there, but we're getting close to this anchor down at 258-ish.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, you're getting a lot of love in the chat. Shout out to Henry, shout out to Roger, Chris Spix, and everything. They're loving how you nailed that level. Can I give you and this is probably going to be a yes, I hope it is anyways. Can I give you a name on the fly here? Because you just mentioned—
Always.
Good, perfect. You just mentioned a couple names, a couple things about some little names that have been flying around. I'll give you a second to check out Carvana, CVNA. I mean, that name, if you come over to my screen here and let Brian just load it up for himself, but like, wow, Brian, what a move. You want to talk about a name. This name is up 50% in about a week. That bottom of 40 looking pretty nice, but look what we're doing right now. We did take it out. We took out 56, 57. I'm going to draw, and this is going to go, the week's going to look silly because we had a huge move up, obviously during COVID, and everyone was like, hey man, putting cars in vending machines is real cool. But you know, Carvana had a huge move up there as everyone thought there's no way we're ever getting back into any kind of a dealership, but obviously that was proven wrong. Carvana, nice move up. Also, Brian, a beautiful short float at 34.6%, which is definitely creating some upsized moves that potentially aren't in the price, but definitely could squeeze traders out. So again, I don't think this is a name moving on earnings or anything like that. It's been squeezed. It has a nice move to the upside. Traders love this name. What do we see here on Carvana?
Here, if we can take a look at my screen, it's pretty good again here that we had that failure here from September. It was in a strong downtrend below the declining 20-day moving average. Then we started to see it turn sideways a little bit. It hopped up on whatever this news was here 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and it got back above the anchored VWAP from this high right here. That's that purple one. And then it came right to the anchor from this high right here and kind of pinched between those. And then once it broke free of this little consolidation, then it's been off to the races. And we've got a super strong trend here. We're above a rising 5-day moving average. I would anchor right now to the beginning of this move and say, that's where the buyers are still in control in the intermediate term, as long as it continues to ride that rising 5-day moving average and the anchor from the beginning of the move.
So, I mean, I know getting back out, that will be about it looks to be about a 10, 15% move back to the downside. Is that something that, like, because I know there's some traders asking right now, if they're long Carvana right here, is that, I mean, I think we can use those levels possibly as some support. Like you just mentioned, maybe that's where if we lose those levels, give it a day or so, and then we get out. I like the solid level of 50. I mean, I'm just looking over there at your charts as we speak. Maybe we can go to Brian's screen again. Like just that level right there of 50 bucks. I know you're drawing this here as we go, but to me, that's looking like just a great level of support down there. Plus we got some confluence, shout out to Obi, with your VWAP and the moving average there. Why is that what moving average? That's a 65 period moving average? What do you got going on there with the orange?
Yeah, this is, I think we've discussed this before, Sean. It's the 5-day moving average. So I'm looking at a 30-minute time frame, and there are 13 30-minute periods per day, 9:30 to 10, 10 to 10:30, etc. So 13 of those in one day times 5 days, 65 periods equals 5 days. So this is the true 5-day moving average at any point during the day. In other words, it's getting rid of the data, from right here. That's the beginning of where we were 5 days ago. Tomorrow morning, we'll get rid of this, and that 5-day moving average will continue to rise here as well.
So I know look, I have so many questions about Anchor VWAP, but I have your book right here. This is what we're talking about right now. Everyone can go on your website, find it on Amazon. It's absolutely fantastic. But do we often just anchor the VWAP to the beginning of the move, especially if we're swing trading like you did there on Carvana? You said that move started in and around 38. That's a good spot because often, obviously we're talking to you, so anchored VWAP is your thing. It can be hard for traders like us to figure out where especially on a move like this, where do we anchor it? So maybe we can look at SOFI as an example because that's had a really great move as well. And I'm gonna guess that in and around maybe 650 is where we could anchor that, or possibly if we're going to anchor it near the top of that 1150 that goes all the way back to the middle of the summer. Like, I'm just wondering, are we on the right pace here about where we might be thinking about laying these anchors?
Sure. So on the 30-minute time frame, for instance, we just saw this strong breakout here last week, and that's very similar to what we just looked at in Carvana. So we anchor from the beginning of that move. That's where we saw a shift in supply and demand, and you can see it pulled back almost precisely to that after this big run here, and buyers stepped up again. So at that point, we see what we can do is do a handoff. In other words, a new momentum campaign began right there. So we can anchor at this point, and now that allows us to get a little bit tighter on our stops and that sort of thing, rather than maybe having it way down here. Maybe you want to raise your stop up successively under the higher lows with this anchored VWAP.
Geez, Brian, those are some absolutely fantastic levels, and those are two names that traders are often interested in. All right, you hit that. You were talking about the IBB and looking for. I asked you last time, so where is there some value? And it was IMGN. You mentioned that you were out of that one as that sort of blew up. Is there anything right now that maybe we can just sort of show, not necessarily your positions or anything, but anything that's looking interesting to you that traders might be able to look at over the next couple of days?
Yeah, so I'm in a bunch of, winners, which there's no point talking about those because they're already on their way. But ASC, so some of the shippers have been strong.
Okay.
And you can see this blue line is the year-to-date anchor. We're above a 20, the 50, and the 200. The 200 is declining, but this is where we were 200 days ago right here. So that will start to flatten out. But if you look at the weekly time frame, it's really looking like it's just begun a new move here that might be seeing it heading up towards these highs of $16, $17 per share. So that's one good one to keep an eye on. I think gold has made its pullback and is now getting ready to go again. We had a strong shakeout in GDX, and one of the names there, I don't really like to trade these names, but FSM is a good looking little one here. This it's a silver miner, so you can see the anchor off of this all-time high, or at least the high of 2021, has been holding this stock back. Now it's looking like it could be getting ready to go again. Fubo still has my interest down here. Fubo is holding this prior band of resistance, is holding his support, so that one is getting ready. It looks like Mobileye. It's just amazing, Sean, that there's still so many stocks that are setting up for a potential big move. DBRG is one of them. Here, nice base, getting ready to maybe get going in the next week or two. So it's amazing that with all the strength we've seen, that we still have stocks setting up in a low risk way.
I really like the Mobileye look there, because Mobileye, again, a name that who's over there? Oh, there it is. Mobileye, a name that again is in the right space. I like that name, and so many ideas. That silver name, very good. Fortuna, great name there as well. As we continue, okay, Brian. In case I don't see you, obviously, have a very happy holiday. But I have a very, very important question to ask you, and that is are you a artificial tree or a real tree kind of guy?
We have an artificial tree. I kill enough trees by printing these books.
Okay, you win again. We used to be artificial. We've gotten real. I just like going out and hacking those trees down. And but it's not an environmental thing. I asked the farmer. He said he plants 2 trees for every one that they sell. But happy holidays to you and yours, Brian. And really looking forward to a very prosperous 2024. And I want to thank you again for joining me on the Recap Show.
Same to you and all the audience, Sean. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Brian. That's Trader Talk. That's Brian Shan. Again, Brian is just, honestly, this is what we're doing on the show. Like, we're trying to bring real ones to you. Like, it doesn't take, I just asked him, what were some ideas that you maybe had? Boom, 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 boom. Like, unlimited amount of ideas. And again, so super smart with the anchored VWAP. Definitely, if your Trade Ideas has it. I was going to say, if your platform doesn't, make sure that ours, we're working on it to get it on our platform as well. Our charting is not the greatest, but we do use Trade Ideas here. Make sure you subscribe to that if you are interested. Okay, man, that was fantastic. What's next? My tweets. I don't care about my tweets, but let's go have a quick look at them real quick. Then we'll do roll call, and we'll wrap it up because we only got a minute left. And Ramin, she don't play, so we got to get out of here pronto. All right, let's find out what I was tweeting about earlier. Oh, by the way, we are live right now on X. So shout out to everybody following and watching us right now on X. So thank you so much for that. All right, there's the FDX. Well, how about this one? Did you guys know this? What's up, Charlie? 58% right now of U.S. households own stocks. The highest percentage on record. Is that, maybe we'll talk about this on the podcast. Is that a pause for concern? I feel like, all households should own some stocks. I don't know. And I do feel like maybe it is like a first world problem. Like, if you have enough capital out there, obviously you'd like to own stocks. And I do know that there is a potential that, hey, look, we got bills to pay. I can't put money into stocks. But that 58% is pretty interesting to me. And I just feel like when you're turning on the news and all you're hearing about, and you're going to hear more about it today, Nasdaq at all-time highs, People run to buy those things. It's just like Bitcoin, right? I don't get any questions about Bitcoin when it's at 15,000, but people sure ask about buying it at 40,000. You know, so I wonder about that, maybe getting a little top heavy if we're at those record highs. So shout out to that post that we had right there as well. All right, another one that I want to talk about. How messed up is this? Look at this, man. S&P 500, 2024 year end. So we are now a year out, okay? Look at this. Oppenheimer, good movie or not? 5,200 is their guess. Right? Right now, the SPX, we obviously just talked about that, 48. So we're going to find out Fundstrat 52. But look at the difference down here. JP Morgan, 4,200. Morgan Stanley, 4,500. So let's just check out what we're at right now. We don't have SPX on here, right? No. So where did, maybe someone can help me there in the chat. Hold on a second. I'm just going to call up SP 500, see where we did close at today. Yeah, so I just quick little Google search. I said 48. I didn't want to get too off. 47. So let's just call it 47.50 right now. So 47.50. So right now, Evercore saying we could get a flat year. So right now, you know, the mean, I don't know where the mean is, but we're definitely higher there on the average, higher than where we are right now. Nice move to the upside. And we only have, I guess it's 4 right now. Wells Fargo, UBS, Morgan Stanley, and JP Morgan all calling for lower targets than where we are right now for next year. So I felt like that was pretty interesting. So to end up to Sean's tweets, one more as we go. And well, thanks to Dara for this. She finds a lot of these for me because at the end of the day, we're just like, okay, what are we doing? Percentage of stocks underperforming the S&P 500. So right now, the S&P is up 23% year to date. Let's go. That's a pretty good one, right? But 71% of stocks are under that 23%. So that's a Mag 7 problem. We already know about that. 71% of the stocks in the index are under that 23% mark. Is that a thing? I'm going to say no, not a thing. I just want to tweet that out because I thought it was interesting. And again, look, that's going to change, right? You can invest in the RESP, or the RSP, which is the equal weighted index. If you think the S&P 500 has more room to go, but you don't agree with the weightings, you can get relative weighted indexes as well, both on the Nasdaq and on the S&P. All right, quickly, I'll do this real quick. I promise you, Ramin, but I'm here for the people. This Ramin is too much. Okay, here we go. It is live chat time. If you're here, man, thank you so much because traders stay late and you stay late with me. So let's do a quick little roll call. If you're here, what's up? Okay, Bears vs. Bulls sent me the super chats of the day. I will look at that. So I got to say a shout out to Bears vs. Bulls because without him, man, we'd have nobody anyways. So shout out to everybody. Thank you so much to Bears vs. Bulls. All right, who's here? What's up, Henry Chung? Thank you so much. HPDS, you stayed late, man. It's 4:30. Is it that late? Come on, man. We can stay later. What's up to roll call from Bears? Juan Padilla's here. Super Spackman's here. Trey Only's here. John E is here. Sly's here. What's up to Ponzi Fonzie? You're here as well. Hey, man, 2,000 people are still here with us. So let's go. Roll, not roll. What does it say on there? It shouldn't say roll. That's misspelled, man. It's ROLL. Roll call. Good call on that one. Igor, the Bears is here. What's up to R Gold is here. Mark M is here. Ben Hope is here. Ponzi's here. Lavanus is here. Salman Shah is here. Alman is here. Jermaine's here. Everybody's here. And we have the wrong spelling, but not on this. Thank you so much to everybody. It's been an absolutely fantastic day as you're able to sit here and trade with me all day. We did talk about the trade of the day. I really liked that Uber trade right there. I really like this Affirm trade, although we lost on it at the end of the day, Affirm. But we talked about this. Any kind of a deal with a Walmart, with an Amazon, with a Best Buy, we like it. Affirm's in those. Look at this move right there. Buying 47, getting the best outs there at 49.50, 49.60. Then we tried some longs at the end of the day that didn't really work, but we were able to get out of it before it made that move down into 50 bucks. So let's watch Affirm tomorrow at $50. Man, it's been a good day. I want to thank everybody again for joining us. We'll fix the spelling on that. Big thank you to Brian Shannon again for joining, and a thank you to everybody because traders stay late. I got to drink some more water. I'm glad to be back, man. I'm here all week, and that's not going to change. That's a lie. I'm not here Friday, but I'm here for the podcast. All right, see you, everybody. Ciao.